What's up, y'all? Will here at Schedulefly. This episode is sponsored by Schedulefly. If you don't love the way that you schedule and communicate with your staff at your restaurant or your bar or your ice cream store or coffee shop or distillery or winery or brewery or boutique hotel, we would love the chance to earn your business. And you can try us for free with no commitment, no obligation, no credit card, nothing up front. Go to schedulefly.com. Click free trial. You get 30 days. You can try it out. My personal cell phone number is right there on the trial sign up page. So if you got any questions, call me, text me. I'll get back to you. We have 6,000 restaurants, about 250,000 end users. And the reason I'm willing to put my cell phone number on there is because our software is so simple that we have so little support demand that it's very easy for us to be very responsive when we need to be. So we've been building this business for 15 years through word of mouth. We have, like I said, 6,000 customers, and we'd love to have, if you're on pencil and paper, you're on Excel, you're on a scheduling platform that you're paying a lot of money for, that has a lot of bells and whistles that you don't need, or it's complicated, or it's hard to use, give us a shot. We built this business on simple, super easy to use software and legendary customer support. And we'd love for you to try it for 30 days and give us a chance to earn your business. You'll be very happy if you do. The other sponsor of this episode is Flip, F-L-Y-P, Flip Mobile Banking. So if you go to flipmoney.com, and again, that's F-L-Y-P, or find them in the App Store, this is a cool business. We know the folks that started this. They're great folks, and it's got a great product, and people that have been using it that have used our promo code have been very happy. You have a mobile banking account, checking account. You have a debit card, your Flip card. And every time you use that Flip card, you go to your app on your phone and you spin the Flip wheel, and you can win up to 110% cash back. If you don't win cash, you can win some Flip coins. Flip coins can be used, they'll go into a drawing and you can win prizes. So you can use this thing at 37,000 ATMs. There's no fees. There's no minimum account fee. None of these things that banks typically charge. So if you don't love your bank, if you're not like, man, my bank is awesome and cool and cares about me, check out Flip. Great product, great support, very similar to our ethos here at Schedulefly. Happy to tell you about them and hope you'll give it a shot. If you do sign up, an additional benefit is if you use the promo code Schedulefly, then once you've funded the account and spent $100, they'll give you $20. Just no questions asked. $20 will go right into your account. So flipmoney.com, promo code Schedulefly. Check them out. Last thing I'll say, pause this right now if you don't mind. Give us a rating on your whatever podcast you're using, whatever podcast player. Give us a rating. Ratings mean so much, particularly if you add comments in there. That's how these algorithms spread this podcast to more people. The more people that are listening, the more people are going to get value and learn from other restaurant people, and everybody wins. So pause it, give us a rating, unpause, go on, and and enjoy this episode. Thanks for listening. Bye. What's up, everybody? Will here at Schedulefly. This is another quick episode, one of the Timeless Advice series that we've started. And this is getting advice from the various media we've created over the last decade or so. And right now I'm focused on our first book, which again was written and self-published in 2011, or maybe 2010. This is a good solid 10 or 12 years old. And the purpose of that book, it's called Restaurant Owners Uncorked. And the purpose was to get advice and wisdom that would be, for the most part, timeless from various successful restaurant owners that we're fortunate to serve at Schedulefly from around the country. So here's an exchange that I had with Dave Query. Dave owns Big Red F Restaurant Group in Boulder, Colorado, and it's talking about raising money. So we're going to stick with that trend. We talked a little bit about a process for doing that and a way to go about approaching investors from Scott Maitland in the last Timeless Advice episode. And this is on that same theme of raising money. And again, here, just really, really good advice. So here we go. My question was, if you're looking for investors, what do you look for and what do you avoid? And here's Dave's response. This is fantastic. Quote, Well, it's like going out on a first date. If you're in your mid-20s or 30s and you're dating with something bigger in mind, that's the same as finding an investor. So when you get these weird hits and these weird personality charges and these weird ego comments, run fast and far, because that shit's only going to get worse. There's an interesting dynamic in any industry when it comes to raising money. There's this whole song and dance thing that happens between you and the investor, where you're hungry for the money and you wash the guy's car, mow his lawn, do whatever you can to get his cash, his or her cash. And then as soon as they write that check to you, the dynamic changes to where they're genuinely concerned about your health. They're interested if you're finding enough time to take off. They're worried about your marriage. They want you to spend time with your kids. It's a funny switch that happens with intelligent, integrity-ridden investors who are in it for the bigger picture. You're always going to have these people that are just totally cash-driven, and they really couldn't give a shit what your personal life is like. But I've been fortunate enough not to have any of those kinds of people involved in my businesses. So you've really got to think about your long-term success when you're interviewing these investors, because much different than a tech firm or something that you might be investing in, this is a very interactive investment for these people. They're in your place, representing your brand, walking around the community, telling people that they're your partner and an owner. Man, if they're not walking the high line that you expect them to, then you can be in a really bad situation. Let's say 3 years into it, one of them gets a nasty coke habit and is out nightly trying to bang all your hostesses. And you're just like, whoa, dude, this is all wrong. And they're an investor. They're an owner. You're so screwed at that point. You really have to be crystal clear that this is a business that you're creating. I'm looking at going into my third decade with these people. This is Will here. Let me just break in here. This was 10 years ago. He's now looking at going into his fourth decade with these folks. He has all of his original investors still. Let me go back. I'm looking into going into my third decade with these people, and I hope to go into the fourth and the fifth. I've stayed with my same group the whole way through. My ex-wife still is a partner and has invested in all the stores that we've opened since we got divorced. For a lot of people, all that they've ever wanted to do is own a restaurant. So they are like a 10% owner, and they're walking around there like they own the joint, and the staff is drawing straws to see who has to wait on them. It can be a nightmare. I have so many friends with restaurant investors, and it can just be a complete nightmare. You have to think long term. It's like marrying into a family. You're going to spend time with these people. They're going to see you at your worst. They're going to see you at your best. You're going to have to deliver tough news sometimes, and they have to trust you explicitly, and vice versa. You know, you get some really uptight, really anal business guy who's questioning every dime you spend and wanting to scrub the books all the time, and it's a fucking nightmare. So there you go. Just really good, thoughtful, intelligent advice from Dave. So true, particularly the part about, if you're getting investors in any business, you've got to think about the person and what their objectives are and what they expect, and it can't just be a good return. You want people who will support you, who are there for you, who've got your back, and who are in it for the long term. But a restaurant investment where they're coming in there, that is a very interactive type of business, and something to be very mindful of and be very thoughtful of, and just rule out folks that don't fit that, because it'll come back and bite you for sure. So thank you all for listening. We're going to keep this series going, this sort of series within our podcast of timeless advice. We have been so fortunate to interview so many people over the years and get so much of this great timeless advice and wisdom. So it's fun to package it up and share it along here. Thank you for listening. More of these coming soon, more regular episodes coming soon. I'm actually heading down to record one this week with the CEO of Pop Menu. So we're actually going to start sharing interviews as we did recently with Flip's CEO, BJ McAndrews. We're going to start having interviews with other CEOs of successful businesses that support restaurants with some sort of technology or some sort of service, and who have the same sort of customer focused, customer forward ethos that we do at ScheduleFly. People that we respect and people that we admire, and people who we're happy to share their stories. So keep your ears peeled for those. And last thing is, rate this podcast. Take 5 seconds, give us a rating, throw a comment in there. The more ratings we get, the more this thing will be heard by more people. So thank you for listening, and more coming soon. Have a good one, y'all. See ya.